Alright, hi everybody, it is Megan Ritz here with another Tutorial Tuesday with classic cakes. Today we're going to be doing some textures with buttercream. I have quite a few different texture designs planned for today, so it just depends what we get through. I have some cool housekeeping things I want to share with you guys. We have lots of things happening this winter as we prepare for another slow, quiet winter as things settle down. First of all, tomorrow is our last day here for the week. We have these ridiculously cute cupcakes that are going to be in the case, as well as several cakes and cupcakes that are going to be available. So tomorrow, if you want to stop in from 9 to noon, that is your last chance to stop in to get cake or cupcakes for the holiday. When you jump on, tag a friend, say hi. Hey Christine, hey Sheila, hey guys, thank you guys for jumping on. Tag a friend. We want to invite as many people as we can today to join us. I have some very cool colors, some super fun stuff to share today. As we are jumping on, I would love to know what you guys are doing for Thanksgiving. I don't know if this is a normal year for you guys, if this is a weird year for you guys. For my family, it's definitely a weird year. This is the first year since I moved out, since I was 18 years old, that I am not hosting Thanksgiving dinner. I have always made a big Thanksgiving meal for my family. We've always had an open door Thanksgiving every year since that first year, where we've invited family and friends. Anybody and everybody is invited over. Open invitation for Thanksgiving. So it's kind of sad to not have that. It's a little nice to have a quiet Thanksgiving for the first time, especially because my kid's age, to be honest. He's about to turn 4 in January. So it's kind of perfect timing for us to have a quiet Thanksgiving. He's a bit of a hot mess right now. 3 years old has been a lot. I don't know who's got toddlers and preschoolers. I don't know if you can help me out with the 3-year-old. But today he's been in preschool 2 days a week, really just for like fun and socialization. And my husband is a stay-at-home parent. We are so fortunate to be able to do that. It's really nice, especially since I work so much with the shop, that they are available when I'm available. The cool thing about the school is a co-op. They're awesome. My husband's super involved. The school is amazing. My kid loves it. He loves his teachers. So they've gone virtual for 3-year-olds. So it's like snack and story time. And today, my kid shoved scissors up his nose in the middle of the story time. So that's my kid. That's the kind of kid I have. He is the coolest, most wild, crazy boy ever. So whatever your tips are for surviving a winter with that boy and 2 huge dogs, I would love it. Hit me with all your fun activities and arts and crafts. He loves music. He loves to cook, all that stuff. We're looking forward to, he's gonna make the turkey with me and all that fun stuff. But it'll be nice to have a quiet Thanksgiving. What are you guys doing for Thanksgiving? Are you guys cooking? Are you gonna have a quiet time? What are you guys doing? Let's see. I love it. Thank you. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving too, Ashley. Thank you. So, we are doing some cute turkey cupcakes in the case. So tomorrow you guys can stop by. It's our last day open before the holiday, 9 to noon, Wednesday only. We will have cupcakes and cakes available in the case for walk-in purchases. These adorable little turkeys will be available, as well as some other items. So be sure to stop in. Let me get him out of the way. My kid's totally gonna love that. Classes. So we're going totally virtual this winter to keep our staff protected, as well as to make sure things don't have to reschedule and all of that good stuff. So the benefit to online classes, they're totally different than the tutorial Tuesdays, right? You get to work alongside us. You get feedback. You get to grow and develop throughout the class. The classes are on our website if you guys want to jump on there and take a look at the classes. We are also offering one-on-one classes along with the group classes. They're all via Zoom, so if you want to check those out, we're super excited about that. Very different compared to the in-person classes, but we've done a lot of problem solving to make sure that they're still going to be amazing. If you are not local, we do have options, so anywhere in the world really you can participate in these online classes, so very cool for that. Shoot us an email. In the description there is a link to our website. Very cool. So I'm gonna get started. If you are not already a subscriber on our YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe. Let's dive into some different textures. I have a nice long list here of a bunch of different textures I wanted to remember. So I'm gonna put my little cheat sheet over here. I would love to know what you guys are doing. Hi guys. Teresa, Donna, Brittany, Terry. Terry, you were deep frying a turkey. I have never deep fried a turkey, Terry. I've never had a deep fried turkey, Terry. I'm very curious. It's all the rage. I don't get it. I love turkey. Why would you have to deep fry it? I mean, everything is good deep fried. I get that. All right, I have some very cool wintry fall colors here. We're gonna do some very cool textures, some trendy textures, some hyped textures, some old school textures, some spatula textures, all kinds of cool stuff. I've got colors, I've got parchment bags in different sizes, I've got fabric bag, I've got a bunch of different tips. I'm ready for everything. So we're just gonna keep playing until we run out of time. I love it. Christine's gonna be baking a birthday cake. That's amazing. I love it. Have you figured out what you're gonna be baking, Christine? I'm gonna start with Rosettes because I think that's super fun. I have no reason, really. All right, so I'm gonna use a parchment bag. Rosettes. So we're gonna use this. It is 852 is the tip. I should probably write this down because I usually get questions later. And then I forget what tips they are. It is this large, people often refer to it as star tip. 852. I love these colors too. I wish I could take credit, but the girls already had these made today. I just saw them on the shelf and made a little extra. Let's do this color. I feel like these work for like wintry fall, kind of a little bit of everything. We're going to be doing our textures on the board instead of on a cake today, so I can reuse the buttercream and we can just kind of keep playing and do lots of different stuff. This allows me a little bit more room. So I filled the bag. When you use parchment bags with a tip, you want to put tape, which I already have done. I use Scotch tape around the edge here. Otherwise, when you squeeze it, it will rip. This tip will rip right through the bag. So you want to put you want to put tape right around this edge here to like act as a safety measure to secure it. Otherwise that will rip right through. So make sure to keep that in mind with those parchment bags. You guys know I love parchment bags. So anytime you load a bag, you want to squeeze it out to burp the bag. All right. Got my sanitary rag here. Let me wring it out. Keep my hands nice and clean. All right. So for rosettes, let's say that this, how do I want to do this? I'm gonna do it sideways. let's say this is the top of my cake and I'm working down to the bottom of my cake. Is that confusing for you? I'm gonna do it this way. Let's say this is the top of my cake and I'm working down the cake, okay? So when I do rosettes, I always start at the top of the cake and I work my way down. That way, my seam, if I have one, is towards the bottom of the cake. My messy part, if I have one, is at the bottom of the cake. So the top edge of my cake looks the nicest. At least in my head, that's important to me. So I'm gonna start at the top of my cake and I'm just going to pretend like I'm icing a cupcake. I have my cupcake swirl and I'm gonna make my next one. Now, the important thing, to me at least, is that I want them to be almost barely overlapping. You don't want them to be like smashed on top of each other, and you don't want them to be have a gap in between them. So you want like a little tiny hair of them to be overlapping so that you don't have massive gaps. Right? So you want just kind of like a hair on top of each other. And then I'm gonna go around the cake and do that row all the way around. And then I'm gonna do the next row. And the same rule applies. I want them to be like a hair touching. And you want them to have the same swirl pattern. If I start in a different spot and end in a different spot, it's gonna look uneven and messy. I'm running out of buttercream here, so I'm gonna fill my bag a little bit more. If you make them start and stop in the same spot every time, then they're gonna look really even and neat. It's gonna look overall just a lot more intentional. It's also going to afford you a lot more room for error. So like if you start and stop in the same spot with everything, then like this one's tighter and this one's looser, people aren't gonna tend to notice that. So like I can be, if I'm more intentional and a little bit neater in some areas, then I don't have to be as perfect in other areas. And that makes it a little bit less stressful as a decorator to make every little thing perfect. We talk a lot about practice makes progress. Perfection is not a real thing in cake decorating or really anything else. All right, so I'm gonna do another row. And I'm just going to, okay, so what happened here is I have a chunk of butter or sugar or shortening or something that is clogging the tip and not allowing anything to come out. So I need to use a spatula, which I don't have over here with me, or a toothpick to force that out. And it would be a piece of sugar. So then on my cake, I can just pull that off. This can all go in the trash. Not a problem. Your cake is not ruined. So these are the kinds of things that happen, right? You have imperfections and then you can just fix it and tidy it on up. So that is rosettes. And you can make them small, you can make them big, you can make them even, you can make them like in rows like this, or you can make them offset like brick-like pattern. What do you guys think? Do you like rosettes? Let me show you a different way to make rosettes. Let me get rid of this. If I have enough buttercream left. I think I do. There are a lot of different patterns. The But there's another way to make it that I really like. Let me see what you guys are saying over here. Christine, this tip is actually called 852. Some brands have different numbers, so I'm not sure how that translates to the 1M. I apologize. This is the tip that I like because it's a little bit more open. I totally misspoke. I apologize again. This tip is the one I like because it's not more open. This one actually, the tip, if you look at it, it comes like the little forks or whatever, the pointy parts come together and close. There's another one that stays open like a claw, which might be the 1M. I'll need to look that up. We have both here and I just forget which one's which. There are too many numbers for all these tips. They need to just come up with cool names so we can remember them all. So there's another type of rosette that I really like that you would do like giant on the side of the cake. And then whatever's left to fill in, you would just kind of fill in. So it's definitely not as neat and tidy. Right, this would be the side of your cake. It's not as neat and tidy. Well, I tend to do this often in buttercream. And I tend to do this version or a version of this in fondant more often. But I like this as well. I think it's fun. What do you guys think? Do you like the first one or the second one better? First one or second one better? 1 or 2? What kind of buttercream do you use? Tammy asks. We use an American buttercream. Rosemary says 1M is open and 2D is closed. Yes, this is like a 2D. Thank you. That totally reminded me. 2D. All right, guys. What do we think? 1 or 2? Which one do you like better? Rosettes. All right, I'm gonna clean off this little spot here, and I'm gonna do some basket weave. We'll see what it looks like. The 1 is winning. American buttercream is what we work with here. It is part high ratio shortening, part butter, vanilla extract, and powdered sugar. That is it. There's no liquid in it, so it does not crust. It is a very forgiving, very easy to use, holds its shape very well, so it makes things like flowers and rosettes very nicely. Not a lot of air bubbles in it, very smooth, nice to ice with, a very nice buttercream. All right, beautiful. I'm gonna do basket weave. Do red. Let's do blue. I don't know why. No reason. Just feeling blue. Do you guys get like emotional responses from colors? Do you feel affected by color? Or do you feel like you have a color? I feel very strongly about color. I feel very strongly about color. that spell tonight, Tammy. I love it. Try many times to find a recipe for the buttercream, and I've had no luck, Donna. Donna, are you trying to find an American buttercream recipe? All right. So, let's see. What do we have here? This is for, what are we doing today? Basket weave. We are doing 48. For basket weave, we are doing tip 48. It is a flat tip. It has teeth on one side and it is smooth on one side. And I'm gonna zoom you guys in here so you can just see my hands so we can work real close here. So I'm gonna flip you around and take you on a ride real quick, if I can figure it out. You guys are gonna see all around the shop. Don't mind me. What's happening? Here we go. Okay. There we go. All right, guys. Now we can get you a good view here. So, okay, so for this tip, it has the teeth on one side and it has the smooth side on one side. So if you pipe with it one way, you get a smooth line, and the other way, you get a striped line. So you can do smooth stripes and striped or combed stripes on the sides of a cake, just like that. Super cool. Very fun to do. Or you can do basket weave around the sides of a cake. So you can do that, like for an Easter cake, you could do basket weave in brown and make a basket, or you could do white basket weave and make like a white knit looking sweater. Very cool. I'm going to show you guys in the blue here, just for fun, how to do a basket weave. So you're going to do your first line, straighter than that ideally, and then let's see if I can keep my hand out of the way so you can see. And then you're going to make your first line. You don't need it to be very long, just over the top. Your next line is going to be that far away, so the same distance that the tip is, down, away, and you're going to skip that, so every other. And then you're going to finish it. Maybe that'll be easier to see. I don't think I've done basket weave in several years. Not something we do often anymore. This is definitely a, wow, I don't even know what decade anymore. Maybe 90s style? Definitely before I started cake decorating. But it's still, maybe Easter's the only time we really do it. So I made this a little bit too tight. Let me pull this off and redo it. All right, so I made it a little bit too tight. I need a little bit more room to breathe. That's what my little guys need, some room to breathe. Watch me overcorrect. Let's see. Yeah, I made them a little too far apart. Let's try one more time. We want them to be far enough apart where they're not squished, but not so close that they're, wait, far enough apart. How do I even say this? We want them to be far enough apart where they're not squished, but also so you can't see in between them. That might still be too far apart. We're gonna make it work. I feel like once you get it going, it makes sense. A little too close, or a little too far apart. I don't want that gap. So if I did this on the side of a cake, I would ice it in the same color. So I'd ice it in the same blue. So if I made it a little bit too big, it wouldn't matter, right? You wouldn't see all those gaps. I wouldn't ice it in white, because then it would be very unforgiving. Like right now. That's okay. So this is a very fun design. It's just this pattern repeated around the sides of the cake. I actually really love this texture. It works really well in different colors. Like I said, you can do a basket for an Easter cake or even like a Christmas sweater. It looks a little bit like a knit. So that is okay, that break, because the one's gonna go over the top of it. If it was in a different spot in the line, it might matter, but I'm actually gonna cover that up. And those breaks are from air bubbles. Nothing I can do about that. So I would just continue that pattern right around the sides of the cake. What do you guys think? Do we like the basket weave? Throw me some hearts if we like the basket weave. So I'm actually going to do the same pattern. The same technique with a different tip. This is a 32 tip. Same pattern, 32. Let's see what happens. And this is the fun of cake decorating. You have different tools. You can play and see how they change. Slide this down a little bit. You guys like it? Thank you. Yay. Terry says, love the basket weave, but would take forever on a bigger cake. Yes, yes it does. It does take forever, and when you get like an air bubble in the wrong spot, you have to scrape a lot of it or all of it, because you can't really fix it without tearing up parts of it. So this is the kind of tip that we would do like a shell. So we can do a similar pattern as, let's see how I can get around this tripod, as this basket weave with this. Ooh, I might have made it too far apart again. It's just big and chunky. So this is also a great way to make Like this is to me like the cable knit sweaters for Christmas. Same exact pattern, different tip. So what do we think? Throw me some hearts. Let me know what you guys think. So another technique we can do with the same 32 tip. I'm gonna move this guy around. We can do like a seashell kind of border, a seashell kind of design here. Let me make some room here. You can do where you do a dot straight up and down and then pull it. So you would do this on the cake and like kind of brick it in. It creates a really nice like depth of texture. It's cool if you do it in different colors or if you like ombre it in. Or if you do like a rainbow or like, I should have done one there. If you do like a mermaid cake or something with that too. It's definitely not a neat and tidy design, but that's a cool texture design to do too. A little bit neater version of that would be the disadvantage to this is you have a bunch of holes in the design. So it just depends what you're going for. Like this fills in the cake and then this has holes. Peacock tail, yeah, that totally works. That's cool. You can also do rosettes with this little bag. Again, this is a 32, so it just takes a lot more rosettes to fill in the sides of your cake with this. Oop, I got sloppy there. But you can do rosettes this way too. So as you can see up here, they look a little bit different, but same idea, same technique. Same bag. So you don't have to buy a bunch of stuff. This is a 32 tip. It's a really good like beginner tip for textures and playing. You can do some very cool stuff and ice your cakes with different designs like this. If you want some texture and some stuff. That color. Christine says, do you design cakes and masculine designs for guys? Yes. So we definitely do lots of masculine designs. We have galleries on our website for all kinds of cakes. And then we have a walk-in case for cakes for purchase, for just walk-in purchases. And we have masculine designs in there. This is a great color for masculine cakes because it's got that just dark, almost gray undertone to it. Trying to think what else. I really like this pattern, honestly. It's really time consuming and it's honestly fairly frustrating to do on an entire cake because in order to be consistent you have to really develop a consistent pattern, like not hand-eye coordination, but muscle memory, to just, without thinking about it, kind of go back and forth. But this is a great thing to practice on a board like this, to just get a cake board and do over and over again until you don't have to think about it. Let me see what else I have over here for you guys. I think we can grab some more colors. Oh, I had one more I wanted to show you with this tip first. So, another thing that you can do is kind of brick them together. So you can use just about any tip to do stuff like this too. But textures are a really fun thing. They will look good in lots of colors. It creates that shadowing. You can do multiple colors. I think that's super fun. Let's see. Let's grab another color over here and another board. I've got red. So I'm gonna swap out for a clean board. We'll do some stuff with spatulas and a clean card. You guys know I do a lot with the clean card. And I'm going to keep my notes with me because I don't want to forget stuff. I have lots of ideas for you. And we have plenty of time. Okay, so I'm going to put you guys on a field trip again. All right. Hey Tony, hey Terry, hey Olivia, thanks for joining in. All right, so some more textures. We did a bunch of piping stuff. Now I'm gonna bust out this very cool, dirty, cranberry, burgundy, maroony, I don't know, red color. And I'm just gonna put a glob on the board. We're just gonna play. The cool thing about, so if you go onto our website, we just added an online shop, and I have these pointy spatulas, and I believe at least I have my round spatulas on there, so you can see those guys if you're interested. The cards that I'm always using are seriously old hotel key cards and gift cards and old driver's license, anything like that that you guys have, old credit cards. Just throw them in the dishwasher and sanitize them. Save them, ask your family to save them for you. You will love them for it. For these little spatulas, you get lots of, what's the word I'm looking for? It gives you a lot of control because it's tiny. You get a little bit of focus. It's very nice. I like the little guys. Okay, so I've got the little one here. I'm just going to, if I put that glob on a cake, I'm going to show you. Home style is what you guys all know, right? Where you literally are just smearing something on a cake. So we can do home style. So where it looks like that, or where it looks like that, or where it looks like that. You guys can kind of play with how much texture you want to create in your home style or in the texture when you ice a cake. If you want stucco, then you want to create a lot more texture just by doing that and then going back over it a little bit. So I'm literally just causing suction and then flattening those peaks for that stucco style. Super simple for that very trendy stucco style cake. What else do we got? For like a wavy look, I want to just long, sweeping strokes. The key to that is just really long, sweeping strokes. Now that could be, the cake could point that way or that way, it does not matter. Same with the horizontal or the diagonal spatula marks that go around the sides of the cake. Super trendy. Or let me just smooth this out a little bit and make it even. I can use the spatula and make nice ridges. The cool thing is it just is your eye. What do you like? How much texture do you like? How neat or messy do you want it to be? It's really up to you. I think the other cool thing is there's really not a right and a wrong. Every cake is different. Every style is a little bit different. I feel like some colors, like I like different things, different, like better or worse. That's actually a really cool design where you go back and forth. There's all kinds of stuff. So texture is something where you can literally ice a cake and just play. You could play for hours with just different techniques. You could just, no rhyme or reason, and see what comes from it. And maybe you like it and maybe you don't. And you know what? Maybe someone does. I don't know. If I put gold leaf on that, I think that'd be gorgeous. Christine says, I like the cake combs. Oh, Christine, I love cake combs. There are so many cool ones. I have to say the Esther cake combs are my favorite. They are nice and tall. They are really firm, like nice quality metal. Gorgeous designs, super expensive, totally worth it. There was one more I wanted to show you guys. I like any more icing on here now. I've scraped away all my icing. Let me make a nice big pile again. Guys, that's it. So I know it's crazy to think that that is a design for the side of a cake, but seriously, texture is all about having depth and having lots of texture. So the cool thing about that is you get to play. You don't have the rules that you would normally have, and that's the fun part. So play. I'm sorry I threw you in the light. I'm sure that felt great. Thank you so much for joining us. Please jump over to my website, check it out, check out the classes. We need your support. If you're not interested in them, that's totally fine. Tag someone, throw someone else who might be into it, interested. I would love to do some one-on-one classes with you. It is classiccakescarmel.com. Jump over there. If you are not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, you need to jump over there and subscribe. youtube.com/classiccakescarmel. And again, tomorrow is the last day to get one of our adorable turkey cupcakes. I love it so much. Thank you guys. I love you. Have an amazing Thanksgiving. I hope you really do. I know it's a weird year, That's just part of the charm of it, I guess. Thank you so much for joining us. This is Megan Ritz with Classic Cakes. Thank you for joining me for another Tutorial Tuesday. I will see you next week.